So I traveled south of Devil's Lake, and I actually traveled along the lake, Devil's Lake, and it's always kind of fun to see how everything is built up because of the flooding. But near Fort Totten, there's a special place. Used to be called Sully's Game Preserve, but now it's called White Horse Game Preserve, which I think is a much better name for it. And what a fun place it is. So let's dive into it. Okay, I'm about to climb up to the overlook. A lot of steps. Sounds like some kids are tired of climbing.
Now I have to walk back down there without my sandals. Grandma, do you have your phone? Or is it in Jeep? Because then you could take a picture of this, then send it to Mom.
So yeah, it's true. After I climbed all those steps, I followed the road and eventually ended up at the, I guess, center. They are trying to be carbon neutral or self-sufficient as far as energy, and seem to be succeeding with all those solar power plants. So, hey, and the tour I took was kind of fun because I ran into some people from here. An aunt of a student who lives a block away from me, and another person who I just knew, and yeah, a lot of fun. A little bit more going on here at Sully's Game Preserve. And this path this one is handicap accessible. Of course, it doesn't go very far. Whoop. I think I see one of my buddies. Yeah. No, he's not moving. Oh, let's take a look at... Oh, okay, it continues on. So, we're out here on Devil's Lake. I'll try not to drop this, but over across the bay, I used to work there in the summers. Do some shaky cam so you can get a better look. But yeah, worked there. Actually, first time I was at this game preserve was with a bunch of kids from over there. Okay, I'll admit it, other than that view, this is not a very interesting path, so I think I'm going to finish it because it's only like a quarter of a mile, and then I'm going to try a different one. You can kind of see the highway there. Built up quite a lot because of the flooding. It used to be higher, but you know, it's been a dry year, so it's actually down a little from when I worked here. And of course, we have some glacial erratics here, boulders. The visitor center here has a goal of being energy self-sufficient. I don't see any power lines, so maybe they've done it. Okay, I have two choices. I can follow the old road bed, which is a longer hike and might be flooded, or I can take this one. Why not do both? And here in Sully's Hill Game Preserve, I met the aunt of a student who just graduated this year, so that was kind of wild. We'd obviously met before because she knew who I was. And years ago when I taught here, we took a group of students hiking on this path. I was hiking yesterday up at Icelandic Park and I saw what looked like poison ivy. And I was right, this is poison ivy. But it looks like they've sprayed it, a lot of it or something. But, you know, it kind of has that waxy, droopy, pathetic look to its leaves. I won't touch it. But yeah. Okay, so I'm liking the looks of the long loop. This is the road I could have come down, but I went kind of this way, and I'm right here. I'm gonna walk out, see what that looks like. May cross it, I may not. And I'm a little nervous about this part, so there may be a long backtrack in this. Oh look, more stairs. And more stairs, this time going down. We're kind of sandwiched between the road. You can't see it, but the lake. It's a very muggy day. Not like super hot, but the humidity more than makes up for it. And those clouds are threatening. I don't know if you can see them. But and then of course down there is the lake. But if I didn't tell you, would you know what state this is? Holy cow, look at the ant nest. I'm just trying to imagine the civilization that's living inside that. Hey look, more stairs and more over there. Okay, if I do the longer route home, that narrow strip across is the path. That's the road. So yeah, from here it looks not flooded, although I might be doing a little dance in the middle to get around the water. And then over yonder is Fort Totten. You're looking at the Chankdest Chicana Community College, and then some of the old buildings at the fort, and then just some other, well, it's not really an incorporated city, but I'm going to be driving through there soon once I finish this hike thing. And then the rest of the view is forest. Who says North Dakota doesn't have forests? This path definitely is open, but yet it goes through the forest too, so you get a little bit of each. And there's a nice breeze to help make up for the mugginess. Okay, of course he's got his head down, stuff in his face, but there's a bison over there. There must have been a little bit of fire recently. This is very black. And I see some black on some of these trees. Some of them are pretty sad looking, so, oops, my finger. So maybe recently. Okay, another sign of fire here. And I'm just looking, you know, the other side, it's like a different part of this park. I don't know, part of it's a national game preserve, part of it's a state park or state, I don't know, it's complicated. But anyway, very different. I'm wondering if that mowed area is what protected that forest over there. Don't know. And there we're just looking, hopefully back at my return trip. I'm not sure where it is, but down here somewhere there should be a boardwalk that's floating. So that should be interesting. But first, I guess we're going a steep downhill, and I'll bet it's more stairs. I'll just bet money if I gambled. Yep, there's stairs. So of course, I'm right here. And the question is, because there's a path off to the side, with the steps going down. See, steps keep going down. And a path off to the side. I'm gonna go with the steps because they're more official. Looks like some of them have had a bit of erosion, so I better tread carefully here. But we're gonna go down into the forest. We're getting down here closer to the lake. A few more bugs flying around, and darker. Down here at water level, there's definitely more signs of the fire. If the way is flooded, an alternate path back. Okay, came a short distance down that path. Apparently it meets up with the old road from way long ago. But that's one way back to the visitor center. This is the other way. And it's gonna end badly. But there's a boardwalk so I can get around this. For those of you following along, I'm at the Red Star. Whoops, I'm not even aiming the camera right. I'm at the Red Star. I'm gonna go around this way. I came down this path. I'm gonna go this way. And we'll see where the eyeglasses are, if I'm gonna actually climb up or not. I might not. Then I think I'll go this way, because I do have things to do. Oops, you can't see my finger. I'll go this way, then back across. We'll see. Okay, trail is heading back into the forest again, so let's... I don't know what adjective I want, but it is. And here we have what is apparently a floating boardwalk. Come up this way. Or we can look this way. We're definitely in the forest. And I don't know, somewhere along here I should join up with the other trail, but I think we have to go this way ways. Of course, you gotta love these trees. Nobody else does. This is kind of reminding me of one of the places we used to go when I was a kid to vacation, Esker Lakes Provincial Park up in Canada. And it had a amazing boardwalk through the bog right there in the park. I always loved walking around that. I'd go around that almost every day when we would stay there. Got some very tall flowers here. And finally getting to the end of the boardwalk. Try and hold it on this time. So I'm here. That's a short spur. What the heck? I'm going to go check out the view. Okay, so it isn't much. The other one is looking at some wetlands, but you can't see them because of all the brush in the way, so not much of a view. So we will just rejoin the main path here and continue on around. So it's a little hard to see, but this is as good as it's going to get. We're looking out to a wetland. It was flooded out. There was forest there, but the trees couldn't handle all the water. And we continue walking through the forest. So this is obviously a well-worn path, but for all the people that were in the parking lot, I've only met those two women, the aunt of my student, out here in the hike. Maybe people don't want to hike. Okay, time to make some choices. So I'm going to gamble. I'm going to head back here and see if I can follow this, because that'll be right by the lake. You know, if it's flooded, I'm out of luck. We'll just have to see. Oh, look, more path, but no steps this time. We're just going nicely downhill. So I forget how many years I worked in Fort Totten. It was always in the summer, so the weather's always perfect. Why, other than one field trip, did I never come out here? I've never been on the wildlife loop. You know, I had my evenings to do as I wished. No homework for what I was doing. But nope, never took advantage of this. Why? So post-pandemic, I am taking advantage of things, including some things near home that I haven't done yet. Okay, this is a wildlife workshop, whatever that is. I am headed on the dotted line. So that leads to a wildlife workshop. This leads to a dotted line. Apparently there's a path up that way too. Oh, I see a building up there. I'll bet that's the wildlife workshop, whatever that is. And here, let's get normal again. Here, we're coming out on the lake, and yes, the old road. So we're gonna walk along the street for a while. There's where the road goes back underwater, somewhere out that way. And this is the fabulous way I'm gonna go. And wouldn't this be a cool road to drive on? You know, except for the parts where it goes underwater. Oh yeah, and there's Devil's Lake, one of the bays off of Devil's Lake, which has been playing mischief with all the roads around here. Yeah, that's the wildlife workshop up there, whatever that is. I'm more about this. I don't get too hyped up about what animals I see, but I do enjoy nice scenery. So I don't know if it's picking up the bird calls or not. Across the way there at that patch of brown, let's make it a little bigger. That's where I was standing and looking over at the college. Okay, as it turns out, I'm missing nothing about the wildlife workshop. It's a closed up building. So maybe they open it for special programs. Okay, so we're headed. This is where we find out if I have to turn around and walk all the way back I came, or if I get to cross the bay. That way isn't looking too good. So we're looking out at a flooded area. So this used to be forest and now the lake has kind of taken it over. But that spit of land where the green is where I'm hoping I can walk. It's definitely sort of an eerie place to walk. Maybe I should be wearing one of those GoPros instead of using my cell phone. I don't know. But just kind of eerie. You can tell somebody was trying to save this road through gravel on top of the pavement. I guess it's a sort of a temporary measure. Here we go. Here we go. And uh-oh. I'm gonna have to fight for the right of way there. But I've got more legs than... No, I have just as many legs as they do. I'm bigger. There we go. We'll go with that. Up there. Wow. I am a terrible filmer with a cell phone. Definitely coming in a few different sizes there. I know sometimes they can be kind of mean, so we'll see. There's been some creativity here to save the path. Now it looks like they're running away. We won't have to fight. Here comes some more. Just a narrow bit of land between two bodies of water. And the old forest. And our friends. And here you can see they've got some erosion control measures set up to attempt to preserve what's left of this path. You know, a big body of water like that, you get the wind come up, it can really send up some nice waves. I don't know what this is. It's a nest of some kind of like amphibian or reptile, or pretty sure those aren't geese. Or if I'm just being stupid and this is people's toys. Turtles? The wind is coming up a bit. I don't know if you can hear this, but this is definitely a unique experience in my hiking life. I've never been on the hike like this part here. I've been through bogs and marshes and things, but never anything quite like this. So this is special. If you're into canoeing, this kind of thing might be your jam. I mean, it's a dead end, but you know, other than that, might rub bottom in a few places, I don't know. And here we are rejoining the pavement, sorta. We're about to head uphill into the forest again. Okay, I lied, that was not pavement. This is pavement that's coming up here as we head into the forest. That's the other path I could have taken but didn't. More along the water, but I'm glad I took the one I did. But we're gonna head up back to the parking lot because there's other things I want to see today. I'm in Steele, North Dakota right now. I've been driving past Steele for about 22 years. And I've always seen this giant Sandhill Crane. Never actually investigated it. I've stopped in Steele. Usually this is like a pit stop instead of a Bismarck or something. And I've just never investigated the Sandhill Crane. So after 22 years, I think it's time. So something that was not well thought through. They have the instructions for the photographer to get in the hole, the subject of the picture to stand on the hill, and then the crane is in the background. The trouble is you've got those lights now, which I don't think were there when it was originally erected. But it's definitely a crane. There's a little bit of a park around. I mean, not much of a park, but, you know, some roses. Get a little closer. Those are normal roses, not prairie roses. Boring. And more park. So some informational plaques and tree plantings and things. So I'll just take a walk around because why not? And a big Sandhill Crane. Steele is in what they call prairie pothole country, so there's a lot of birding opportunities. They even have some self-guided, birding tours. And then you have this stuff. Okay, and this is the Jim Miller Memorial Flower Garden, I believe. I'll have to double check the sign. He might be the guy that made the crane, but I'll double check the sign. Okay, yep, Jim Miller made this Sandhill Crane. So he's a farmer and just kind of a amateur artist who works with iron, or did work with iron. Yeah, a little bit more park. I mean, I don't know. Guess if I was on a date or something, this might be a nice place if I lived here to take somebody just to walk around. Just checking out the tail feathers in the back. So I guess in real life they're like 3 to 4 feet tall. This one's a bit taller than that. Okay, I'm here alone, but they have some instructions pointing the wrong way, by the way, because it's actually behind that light there about how to get your best photograph taken. And there's my motel keys on the ground, so I'm glad I noticed. And then they've got this random, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but anyway, it's just kind of alongside the road. There used to be a really awful motel here that had a restaurant. It was called the Lone Steer, and I never stayed in a place quite like it, and I hopefully never will again. And actually the night I stayed in it, I was not in a good mood because I had hit a deer. So, I haven't hit a deer in a long time. So, that's Sandy the Sandhill Crane. Was that worth the walk? Well, at least it was a walk after sitting in the car for too long.